It is not just a cooking oil confined to kitchens. Its derivatives are almost omnipresent. From cakes, biscuits, and chocolates that you relish to the beauty products. From cleaning agents to laundry detergents to margarine. No wonder shares of FMCG companies dropped up to 6% on Monday when the news flashed that Indonesia was putting a halt on export of crude and refined palm oil. Higher prices will increase margin pressure for consumer goods companies like Hindustan Unilever and ITC. The ban by the world's biggest palm oil producer and exporter came into effect on Thursday. It could further inflame surging global food inflation. India is the world's biggest importer of palm oil as well as edible oils in general. Palm oil is preferred in India's food service industry as it is relatively cheaper, lasts longer, and is more stable at high temperatures than other oils. Indonesia has said that it will revoke the export ban once the domestic prices of bulk cooking oil come down by around 30%. It consumes less than 40% of its annual palm oil production of 48 million tons, and the rest is exported. Industry officials don't expect the ban to last long due to limited infrastructure to store the surplus oil and mounting pressure from importers. India consumes around 24 million tons of edible oil annually. About 10.5 million tons of demand is met through domestic production, whereas the rest of the 13.5 million tons is imported. More than 60% of this, around 8 to 8.5 million tons, is palm oil, and 45% of that comes from Indonesia and the remaining from the neighboring Malaysia. The prices of vegetable oils like mustard oil, sunflower, and palm oil have gone up by as much as 25% over the past year. Sudhakar Desai, CEO of Imami Agrotech, says Indonesia's export ban cannot sustain for more than 10 to 12 days.
Basically, this issue started because Indonesia wants to reduce the domestic price table for the common consumers. And that's why they've tried various measures. They've asked all the players to supply minimum quantity into the domestic markets. And at the same time, they also tried to artificially control the prices. But whereas that has made the exports more profitable for them. So they found that while the exports are robust, the domestic supplies got depleted. Number one, Indonesia produces nearly 40 lakh tons of oil per month, out of which they consume about 600,000 tons, 6 lakh tons domestically, and another 6-7 lakh tons for biofuel. The balance 20 to 25 lakh tons they have to export. So, first of all, I think this export ban cannot sustain for more than 10 to 12 days. So this would mean that the world markets has to shift to Malaysia, and whereas Malaysian stocks are already tight. As far as India is concerned, we've been getting some oil from Thailand also. We can expedite a little bit more from Malaysia, and there are stocks in the pipeline. As far as rupee consumer impact is concerned, 6 rupees has already gone up, so probably another 4-5 rupees per liter. Prices can go up till the time this issue is resolved. Meanwhile, we have domestic crops which we can expedite, domestic soybean crush, domestic mustard oil crush, that can increase the availability.
The current situation has also highlighted the need for self-sufficiency, or at the least to reduce import dependence. The self-sufficiency in oilseeds attained through the Yellow Revolution during the early 1990s could not be sustained beyond a short period. Several steps to boost oilseed production have been taken since then. One of them is the recently launched Oil Palm Mission with the objective of producing 2.8 million tons of palm oil locally by 2025 to 2030. However, even if the mission succeeds, it will not significantly lower import dependency. Despite all the measures, India's reliance on imported edible oil continues to grow. It is also possible to reduce the consumption of vegetable oils by creating awareness among the consumers about optimum and healthy oil consumption habits. As per nutritional requirements, 12 to 13 kg per person per annum is sufficient, while an average Indian is consuming more than 18 kg per annum. Desai says India's edible oil consumption has been falling marginally over the last 2 years and is expected to fall 2 to 3% in the current year. He added that high prices are already encouraging farmers to grow more oil seeds.
I think we already saw oil palm mission. Of course, that is a little bit medium-term issue because it will take 4 to 5 years for the oil to come out due to the gestation period of the palm trees. But when you talk about other crops like mustard or groundnut or sunflower or soybean, these are all short duration crops, 90 days to 100 days. So with the right, it is also a big opportunity today. The price table being high, is making the oilseed cultivation more economically profitable. So, for the right reasons, the acreage will shift. And as a nation, we also need that shift from excessively produced agriculture crops to oilseeds in which we are deficient, because nearly we are surplus in everything, wheat, rice, dairy, sugar cane. The last 2 years, let me tell you that soybean and mustard crop has gone up by nearly 25 to 28% because of the price. So it will grow faster with the right focus by the industry, by the farmer producer organization, by the government, with the right technology and hybrid seeds, right application of fertilizers. So a combination of these things will gradually move us towards better placed self-sufficiency.
India's vegetable oil import bill jumped 63% in the 2020-21 marketing year ended October 31 to a record $15.7 billion. The volume of imports remained roughly the same as the previous year at around 13.5 million tons, but the value spiked as overseas prices surged. The import bill may go up slightly this year. The crude oil import bill doubled last fiscal to $119 billion, and oil prices are staying elevated due to the war in Ukraine. The country is also staring at a coal shortage. Several states like Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Uttar Pradesh are stepping up coal imports by paying high prices to overcome a domestic shortage. India's fertiliser subsidy bill is also likely to shoot up by 55% to a record 2.5 trillion rupees this fiscal, as the government will provide additional funds to make up for the spike in cost from higher import prices. India imports 90% of phosphates, 30% of urea, and 100% of its potash requirements. Ukraine war has shot up the price of natural gas, which is used in making urea. Against this backdrop, the International Monetary Fund has estimated India's current account deficit to widen to 3.1% in FY23 from 1.6% in FY22. A host of factors such as rising prices of crude oil, coal, vegetable oils, fertilizers, and natural gas will continue to put pressure on India's external position going forward.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.